What's your most satisfying, they thought they were untouchable moment? My neighbor Jake was the HOA president from hell. He'd purchased the largest home in our development 4 years ago, and somehow got himself elected to the board within 6 months. From that day forward, our peaceful neighborhood transformed into his personal kingdom. Jake didn't just enforce rules, he weaponized them. Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. sharp, he'd cruise through our streets in his spotless black Lexus SUV, clipboard in hand, documenting violations with the enthusiasm of a man who'd found his life's purpose. Grass half an inch too tall, violation. Mailbox slightly askew, violation. Children's toys visible from the street, major violation. My first encounter with Jake's reign came 3 weeks after moving in. I'd left for work at 5 a.m. for an emergency surgery. I'm a veterinarian, completely forgetting it was trash day. When I returned home exhausted at 8 p.m., a bright orange violation notice was taped to my door with a $175 fine for waste receptacle visible outside designated collection hours. I tried reasoning with him at the next HOA meeting. Jake, I was performing emergency surgery on a family's dog. Surely there's some flexibility. He cut me off mid-sentence. Rules exist for everyone, Dr. Miller. Your profession doesn't grant special privileges. Pay by Friday or it doubles. His smile never reached his eyes. Over the next year, the violations multiplied. My daughter's chalk hopscotch on our own driveway, $200 for unapproved driveway markings. A Halloween decoration left up 2 days into November, $300 for seasonal display violation. A visitor's car parked in my driveway overnight without a visitor pass, $250. Meanwhile, Jake's house existed in a parallel universe where rules simply didn't apply. His 3 teenage sons parked their cars on the street, despite the no street parking rule he ruthlessly enforced. His backyard parties regularly violated noise ordinances until 2 a.m. His massive boat sat in his driveway year-round, despite the no recreational vehicles visible policy. The breaking point came when Mrs. Chen, an 81-year-old widow, planted a small memorial garden with her husband's favorite flowers after his passing. I was walking my dog when I witnessed Jake standing over her, violation notice in hand. "This is an unauthorized landscape modification," he barked, while Mrs. Chen trembled. "Remove it by tomorrow or face a $500 fine, plus $100 daily." "But these were Richard's favorites," she whispered, tears streaming down her weathered face. "We were married 58 years. Not my problem," Jake snapped. "Rules are rules." Something inside me snapped. That night, I couldn't sleep. What Jake didn't know was that before becoming a veterinarian, I'd spent 5 years in forensic accounting. I pulled out my laptop and began digging. I filed formal records requests for complete HOA financial statements for the past 3 years. When they arrived, deliberately disorganized, I spent 2 weeks creating detailed spreadsheets tracking every dollar. The patterns emerged quickly. Over $67,000 allocated to landscape maintenance for common areas that looked increasingly neglected. Payments to a company called Premier Property Services, LLC. A business registry search revealed Premier was registered to Matthew Wilson, Jake's brother-in-law. I dug deeper. Pool repair funds mysteriously reallocated. Special assessment money for road repairs that never materialized. A pattern of increasing fines coinciding with large withdrawals. At the next HOA meeting, attendance was sparse as usual. Jake was mid-presentation about raising our annual dues when I stood up. "Before we vote," I said calmly, "I have some questions about the $67,000 paid to Premier Property Services over the past 2 years. Jake's face froze. "That's standard landscaping, owned by your brother-in-law," I continued, passing copies of my findings to every homeowner present. "I also have questions about the $28,000 earmarked for pool repairs that never happened, and why violation fines increased 340% since you became president." The room erupted. Jake attempted to adjourn the meeting, but homeowners blocked the exits. 3 weeks later, after a forensic audit, Jake was removed from the board, and legal proceedings began. The day the police came to question him, his house went up for sale. Sometimes justice requires a spreadsheet and the courage to stand up.